Season 2 is finally here for Madden 24, man. With there being a brand new season for Madden 24, not only do we get like the brand new field passes, we actually don't even have the new comp pass because for some reason the new comp pass still wants to come out Friday. Like, it's pointless. With all these new cars, objectives, and all this stuff coming out, we also got a brand new patch to the game. This is our first, like, this isn't our first patch on the game, but this is, like, our first big one. Like, this is the big hitter one, which we always get this for, like, the start, like, the new season, most of it, and all that stuff. So I have already read through the entire patch notes. I'm basically going to give you guys a breakdown of what's going on with this brand new update. Not only have I read through the whole thing, I've heard what other people were saying about the update, because the season might have just came out and finally went live in game, but before that, a lot of like gameplay stuff was already, it was live around like 9 or 10 or something like that. So you just haven't been able to get them up for a minute. So I'm gonna go through this the list of the patch notes for season 2 and basically just kind of let you guys know what's going on with the brand new season. So for this first section right here, it's called Gridiron. I think it's just Gridiron Notes as a whole, but this first section right here, what we're hearing from you. First section, they talk about slow UI transitions and franchise draft class fixes. So basically, you guys know the menus in Madden are just terrible, man. They're slow, they're bad. Yeah, they dropped one of the that was like one of the first patches to try to fix them, but they're still really bad. Supposedly they made them even faster. We'll have to wait and see till we get on the game. And then for the franchise draft class fix, look, I don't play franchise, but apparently I guess there was something wrong with like the draft class or something. Look, I don't really know anything about franchise. I can't tell you anything about that. If you play franchise and there was something wrong with your draft class, well, it's probably fixed. Next section of the patch notes we're going to be looking at is gameplay. And there is a lot of stuff, so we're going to go by this piece and piece. This first thing we're going to be looking at is brand new abilities that they've added, X Factors and stuff like that, because they've added new stuff into the game, but it's actually only, well, these abilities in particular are only for these certain players. First one is a brand new X Factor. It's for Derrick Henry. It's called Angry Runs. It's basically just kind of, from what it sounds like to me, if you remember the X Factor the Flash had last year, that's basically what it sounds like. So only Derrick Henry gets that, though. The next one is for Travis Kelce. It's called a third down threat. It works up to 25 yards. It won't work past 25 yards. And how it works is basically on the third down, he's able to just pretty much, if it hits his hands, it's like a crazy matchup nightmare. He's going to catch it, from what it sounds like. Jason Kelce's getting his own ability. It's called a linchpin. And from what it sounds like, your entire offensive line is supposedly supposed to get way better blocking, but we've heard this before. Protected. You guys know that ability doesn't work. So, I don't know. Maybe this is like a version of Protected that actually works. I don't know. I've heard this story before. And the last one's going to be Micah Parsons. It's a X Factor. It's called Dual Threat. Basically, it makes it to where he's going to shed like a maniac. And it also works almost like it's like a dual ability. So, he'll be able to shed you like crazy if he's pass rushing you. And if he's in coverage, I guess basically it works almost like a KO. So that sounds like the most broken X Factor I've ever seen. And so our next section of the gameplay, we got catching. Now, honestly, I see some pretty good stuff in here. So the things that I've took away from this, the ones that I think are like, you know, legit, we all know what's going on here. One of them is, have you ever tried to throw to your running back into the flat on like a swing route, and sometimes the ball just goes through his hands, or like something stupid like that happens? Apparently they fixed that, which is good, because that's actually been a problem in Madden for a while now. But hopefully, well, look, sometimes they say this stuff is fixed, and it's truly not. So, but they say it is, they say it is. Another big one is also D-line picks are getting nerfed even more. Now, this year, they weren't as crazy as last year, but still sometimes, you know, guys would catch D-line picks. Apparently, they're getting nerfed even harder, to a point where now, if it happens, it's just unlucky at that point. And the last one that I thought was really important. So, have you ever tried to throw, you guys know me, I throw like 10-yard hook curls. And have you ever tried to throw it, you throw it on the timing of it, and the DB kind of gets an animation where he breaks it up? From what I'm reading in this last part, it says tuning to reduce the amount of catch, tackle, knockouts, specifically targeting at curl routes, which, you know, I'm assuming, though, they're counting those as the 10-yard hook curls like that I throw. What I'm getting at that is, let's say I pass lead the ball away from the defender, and he still kind of gets an animation where he's able to break it up. Maybe they're going to make it to where you catch that more often. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. That's kind of what I took away from that. If that's the case, that's a big W, because I love throwing my hook curls against man coverage. Next section is defense and special teams. And we got a lot for this one. I haven't even got through the whole thing yet. But basically, this first section right here, So in the NFL, right? I'm gonna try to explain this in NFL terms because this is the best way I can try to explain this. Let's say in the NFL, let's say the Philadelphia Eagles come out in a two tight end package, two receivers. You know what I mean? There's a high chance they're gonna most likely run the ball, right? So as the defense isn't gonna come out in like a dime or a dollar. They're gonna come out in, you know what I mean, something with some backers that is prepared for, to try to match their package. What EA is saying is if a, let's say I come out in single back wing tight, right? It's three tight ends, a running back, one receiver, and let's say let's say that's what my opponent comes out in, and then let's say I come out in a 3-4 bear. Supposedly, remember how at the beginning of the year they talked about how what was that thing called? It was like where, guys would have a better reaction to certain stuff or something like that. I don't remember how it was. Apparently, if you come out in a package to match someone else's package, I guess your players are gonna have a better reaction just based off. This is how they explain it. All right. This is what they explain. After hearing your feedback and looking at the online game stats, we have added additional criteria so the defense will now have to have at least as many defensive linemen and linebackers on the field as the offense has offensive linemen and tight ends in order to activate the benefit of recognizing repeated run plays. So remember at the beginning game they talked about how like if you ran a couple run plays, the defense would like catch on to it, the AI or whatever. So I guess if you come out and you match what they're running, like defensively, they'll have a better enhanced chance of recognizing the run and stuff like that. Apparently, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, dog, get some damn run defense. Still in the defensive section, this is a big one here for contains. You know how a lot of people, they try to run like the 3-3 loop blitz, they try to run dollar and stuff like that, and they try to kind of, glitch out your offensive line with like the contains and stuff. Now, apparently, the only people that are going to be allowed to be on contains are legit defensive linemen. Like, your hand has to be in the dirt and you have to be in front of an offensive lineman. Supposedly, that's what it says. So if that's the case, that's pretty big. This next thing that they talk about, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually something I did add a nickel normal, believe it or not, to get some pressure. I kept it a secret for a while because, like, I don't want to give all my secrets out because if I start doing it, then I sometimes I put stuff out there and then people start running it, and I don't want people doing some of the things I do. I'm sorry, I'm not gatekeeping. It's just, look, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. But so basically, if you contain your line, right, a lot of stuff is going around contains because, I mean, contains are just how you can, break things with this game. It's very easy to break things. If you contain your defensive line, right, and if you were so you're doing your defensive adjustments, right, contain the line, and then if you crash them to the outside, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know why, but it's kind of always been like a thing like that in Madden. At least for nickel normal, it would just lead to your interior lineman either sometimes going in free, which you've seen me do, and it would just lead to them, just getting off the block very fast. Apparently they patched it. I don't even know how they knew about that. I'll be honest, how did they know about this? I don't know who snitched and told them about this, but why? We got like some small things they did right here. I guess they fixed an issue where guys were fair catching the ball and still getting tackled with no flags. So, I mean, I guess that's good. They also fixed something where I guess if you did a squib kick, your kicker sometimes would just immediately run to the sideline like the play was over, which, I mean, I feel like, who cares? I say who cares because if you did the squib kick correctly, you're going to basically pin your opponent probably at like the 12, 13-yard line. Because if you do it properly and they get the animation where they fall on the ground, doesn't matter. The special teams play is over. This is the last change I think that they did to the defense. But this is one of the biggest ones for the last, I want to say, since probably... I'd say since Madden 21, maybe before that, but I'll say since Madden 21. What is something we've seen in Madden for the last couple of years? Guys come out at 3-3 and then they audible down to 3-3-5 wide. You can no longer do that. Now, the reason why well, first of all, when you think about it, technically you never really should have been able to do it because in 3-3-5 wide, right? Because the reason why people come out at 3-3 and audible down to 3-3-5 wide is because they want to get those safeties off the edge instead of having to use actual outside linebackers, which that's why I always kind of said, like, technically you never should have been able to do that, but you were able to do that. Now you can no longer audible from 3-3 to 3-5 wide. You have to actually have outside linebackers right there, and a lot of people aren't happy about it. because I mean, you know, they don't want to use that. They don't want to use linebackers. Even though linebackers actually got a huge buff, they didn't show it in the ability section, but they added the brand new ability. It's called a lurk artist. It's basically pick artist and lurker in one ability, and it's only 1 AP. I guess all the linebackers going forward are going to start getting it, so that's pretty good. I can't lie, because essentially you're getting pick artists for 1 AP, and you know what I mean? It's definitely an incentive to use linebackers. It's going to definitely probably make them a lot more coins. And basically you can't audible down to 3-3, 3-5 wide no more from 3-3. Well, like, you still can, but it's pointless because, like I said, the point of it before was to get the safeties at outside linebackers, and since you can't do that no more, you might as well, if you're going to still run it, then you might as well just come out of 55 wide and save yourself the time of having to do those extra adjustments pre-snap. The last two things they did for defense, there was a glitch. Basically, they said they only fixed this in the 4-4 and 3-4 formations. Well, actually, no, they did say nickel also. Okay, never mind. Yeah, have you ever had that glitch sometimes where you at the last second you shift the D line, or you do some with your D line at the very last second, and the D lineman is just stuck in his stance? Like, that's actually like a terrible glitch that happens sometimes, but apparently they fixed that, so that's actually really good. And the last thing they did is, I guess guys were still able to like quick no huddle and like snap the ball. I guess that got fixed again. I don't know. I thought no huddling was already slow. They made it really slow like now, but I guess there was a glitch where people were still doing it. I don't know. Got to fix. So that's pretty much all the stuff there for defense. So yeah, they definitely, and look, there's still a lot more we got. This is a huge patch. I'm not really going to talk about the AI stuff they did because, honestly, it's pointless. So we're going to go to the next category, which is passing. So the first thing they talk about is, have you ever went against those guys that are running the speed option that lateral the ball like 20 yards to the right side of the field? Apparently, that's what they're saying is it's been patched. It's going to be a lot more difficult to do it, and there's going to be a lot more risk in doing that. Good, because a lot of times, bro, these guys really be getting tackled into the dirt and then they pitch that thing 20 yards to the left. Like, man, get that shit out of here. Really, the only other important thing to take away from this passing category is they reduced, I guess, sometimes you would get a back foot. So you're throwing the ball and you're not under pressure or whatever, and I guess you get like some back foot inaccurate or something like that. You know what they need to fix? When I'm standing in the pocket, I'm not holding turbo, and I'm just literally trying to freeform the ball upfield, and all of a sudden my quarterback starts running. You've seen it happen. We've all seen it happen. Can we please? Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't think it is, but that needs to be fixed, man. This blocking category, I'm not going to explain everything in this category because I'll just be honest. A simple breakdown of this, they improved offensive line blocking as a whole against blitzes, certain formations, and just blocking in general is supposedly supposed to be a lot better. So yeah, I'm not going to break down every single formation, every little play. Like, look, it's supposed to be better. We'll see. For this pass coverage section right here, basically it's just all about match. I don't run match, which is weird because people are like surprised when I tell them I run zone. I just run a zone drop type of defense. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But supposedly, a lot of people said match sucks this year, and this whole thing, they give like a breakdown of everything that they've tried to like fix with match. Which the weird thing is though, I don't know. I've seen people already talk about the going in practice trying to test some of the stuff out, and it's supposedly match still sucks. I don't know. Maybe like. I don't know, man. I don't run match. Now we're in the Madden Ultimate Team section. You can see there's a lot of stuff, but honestly, in a whole, it's just like a lot of like just small problems. Like they talk about like, you know, things being spelled wrong, things just not showing up or something. Like just a bunch of like normal stuff. I'm not going to go over it all because it's really like a reskin the single item viewer. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just fixed a lot of, they didn't fix, but they just updated a bunch of stuff for it, okay? It's nothing serious. This is probably the last thing we're going to talk about here because at this point it's not really much stuff. So the Superstar mode, if you guys have played the Superstar mode Showdown, I've actually been playing it a lot recently. If you guys want to see some gameplay out on the channel, I was thinking about uploading it. It's actually pretty fun, I can't lie. The only really important thing that they fixed was there was a glitch sometimes where we try to go into a game and our badges, abilities, whatever you want to call them, aren't activated. So apparently that's supposed to be fixed, which is good because that was a big problem. But honestly, besides that, from what I've seen, they didn't add anything to the show. Like the Showdown didn't get like anything added. Like they didn't like reset the rep or like anything. There's no like new rewards, so I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty big L because I'm telling you, Showdown is actually pretty fun. I'm new to the Showdown. I don't know if they do like different updates for the Showdown or something, or how that works. If any of you guys out there are like, you know, experts in that and like, you know, what's going on, but I would like to see like some, you know, new content for it. That's pretty much it, man. That is what the season 2 update is looking like. Obviously, you guys already know they got all the brand new content and stuff. You can go into the game, look at all that right now. Overall, you know, this was a pretty big patch, I can't lie. I'm definitely interested to see, like, you know, I'm excited to get on the game and see, like, you know, what's different, how this thing is playing and stuff. Who knows? I might even switch to a defense that has a little bit more linebackers in it, so I can use these lurk artists, because I mean it's basically 1 AP pick artists. If they're making it seem like they're trying to, you know, they're trying to entice us to use linebackers more, which look, we want to use linebackers more. You know, can you just make them jump without having to make us use an ability? You guys let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this patch? If you guys have already played on this patch, what's real, what's cap? Let us know. You know, if there's new problems to the game, let us know what's going on, man. I actually think I might get on stream a little bit earlier today because, like I said, I'm trying to get on here. I'm trying to see what this is talking about. So, overall, just looking at all the stuff, it looks like a W on paper. But, like, we've seen a lot of times, man, they say they did this, they say they do that, and nothing's changed, man. I feel like I say this almost every patch video because it's like this all the time. Like, this is nothing new, man. So, we're going to have to wait and see, though, man. If you're not following the Twitch already, man, the link that's down in the description. Go ahead and drop a follow to the Twitch. We're going to be live playing on this brand new update, man, and see what it's talking about, man. Also, let me know, do you guys want to see a Showdown gameplay on the channel? Because like I said, I've been playing a lot of the Showdown. It's basically like the 3v3 park mode. It's actually pretty lit. I'm honestly like really hurt that they genuinely did not add like anything to the mode today. Like they did like some fixes and stuff. Like they fixed a big problem with it, but like nothing new for it though. Like, man, like I said, I don't know if they do updates for that on different days, but that's kind of disappointing. But it is what it is, man. I'll see y'all boys later today whenever I get on stream, man.